Hayley Dillon, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Brand Davis. So, what is it like coming from Evergreen, Colorado, down to Tampa? Talk about the difference.
Definitely the weather. Obviously, Florida doesn't really have any seasons, which I miss a lot, definitely the fall, but I do like the aspect of the beach being really close by. I've always loved Florida. I've always vacationed down here with my grandparents, so I kind of always thought that Florida would be a place that I would end up. And I was also tired of the snow. I lived in Colorado for 18 years and it was just too much. I didn't like driving in it. So I just wanted to get a different environment, and Florida is definitely a different environment.
Yeah, assuming that like all your high school friends, they probably went to like Boulder, Colorado, or Colorado State University.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's definitely a good thing to have a change of scenery. And you just said you have some family down here, so you could easily assimilate into this type of environment.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Like I said, you attended Evergreen Senior High School, right? It says here, I'm gonna put some accolades.
Okay.
You're a four-time All-Conference in volleyball and basketball. Wow. Female Athlete of the Year.
Yes.
Female Athlete of the Year.
Yes.
So that was just for volleyball or basketball?
It was for both.
For both.
Yes.
Wow. So talk about the hardships of playing volleyball and basketball back to back for 4 years consecutively.
It was a lot, definitely. Like, my schedule was always busy, and I also played club volleyball on top of that, so that would kind of overlap with my basketball season. I would go from basketball practice right after school to driving an hour to club volleyball practice for 2 hours, and then driving home, which was definitely a lot, but I kind of grew up playing multiple sports at like all times, so I kind of just got used to the busy schedule, and it was honestly kind of weird stopping basketball in college because I had so much more free time. I didn't really know what to do with it, but it's definitely a lot easier on my body now that I've only got one sport to worry about.
Yeah. And that's definitely happening now because you're playing volleyball. And you are majoring in what?
In nursing.
Nursing.
Yes, I am. My freshman year, we actually had 2 other girls who were nursing majors, but they changed their majors. And one of them went to the beach volleyball team, so I'm the only one now, but that's okay.
So talk about like the hardships of like being a student athlete, especially a nursing major. I know that's very, very like tedious in a way, but talk about like being a student athlete.
Yeah, it is. The nursing program is very demanding. It takes a lot of time and stuff. I'm actually going to start the program in the spring, so that's when all of the hard stuff really begins. So it's kind of been like a normal schedule up until like now, but it's just definitely finding a balance between classes and school. And luckily, just growing up playing sports, I've kind of gotten to a pattern and just gotten used to the demands of academics and athletics, and just finding those little times between practices or on the drives to volleyball practice, doing homework whenever I can. And it definitely took away from some of my social life and spending time with friends and stuff, but luckily most of my friends also played sports, so we kind of understood each other's schedules a lot, which was nice.
You previously stated that you grew up playing sports around your friends growing up. Talk about the love that you developed for volleyball.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of born into it, I would say. I have 2 older siblings, and my brother played basketball, and my sister plays volleyball, and she also played basketball with me. My parents both went to college for sports, basketball, so it's kind of always been something in my family. And my sister and I guess, always like played on the same teams every now and then, which was good competition, kind of frustrating, but I loved having her around as like a role model. And she and I both started like playing volleyball, and we really loved it. And then basketball just kind of took to the sideline a little bit. I still loved it, but volleyball was definitely some path that I really wanted to pursue more.
And when we were off the record, you mentioned that you have a sister, right? Mm-hmm. Is she older or younger?
She's older, yeah.
Older.
She's a senior at UCF.
Senior at UCF.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know the different divisions, but it would have been nice if she was in the SSC conference. If it was like a sibling rivalry.
It would have, yes.
Are you still in contact with her? Does she give you advice as you're in your third season now?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. We got really close after she left for college. We kind of just bonded over volleyball, and just kind of now being in Florida, we're really close, so I get to see her a lot more than I did when she was in college before me. So we like to talk a lot about volleyball. She helps me a lot. Yeah.
And we talk about volleyball a lot, but on your leisure time, I know you have very little leisure time, but what do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Oh, that's a good question. I've really gotten into reading a lot of books lately. Some of my teammates actually got me into a really good author that I've been reading a lot of. I like to go hammocking at the Riverwalk, just kind of relax and just chill a little bit. I also really got into photography a few years ago. I took a few photography classes in high school and absolutely loved it, so that's just something I do here and there. And then hiking, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of hard here in Florida, not really a lot of places to go, but I definitely miss that from Colorado. I used to hike a lot.
Definitely good cardio.
Yes.
And previously off the air, we mentioned about mental health. And you are the ambassador for Morgan's Message, correct?
I am, yes.
Tell me about that.
So Morgan's Message is just an organization that kind of is trying to break the stigma of mental health with athletes. It's kind of important to me because I've kind of seen what the toll can take of being an athlete on college campus and just kind of like the hardships. And I just want people to know that student athletes are more than just student athletes. Like, we put on this cover of being competitive and always wanting to win and not showing any weaknesses when we're on the court, on the field, in the pool or anything. And I just want people to know that there's help out there for any mental illnesses that are occurring. Like, there's stuff going on in our heads that are very complicated, and not a lot of athletes feel that they can talk about it to anybody. So that's kind of what I want to help do with Morgan's Message, is just let athletes around the country know that they can ask for help. It's okay to not be okay in your head. Yeah.
And you certainly do help in the community. You're very, very assertive, and it states here that you have a lot of volunteer work under your belt. The National Charity League, the Inspire program with the Special Olympics. That's very, very unique, having under your belt as a college athlete. So talk about that. Like, I mean, you have a lot of things under your belt, but you're very, very engaged into the community. You're very, very aware, and you just love individuals. So I know I'm going to ask you this question. Just talk about those experiences, what it means to you.
I definitely love those experiences. Those were really great. That was pretty much all in high school. The Special Olympics was a lot for basketball. We did that every year around the fall, and it was just a way to get everyone in the community involved, no matter like who you are, and just kind of let you know that like you can play a sport that you love. You can try anything that you would like, and you're welcome in the community. And that's kind of what I want to do with Morgan's Message as well, like kind of just bring the community together. I'm also kind of helping out with our volunteer works for the volleyball program. So in the spring, we're going to start doing some volunteer programs. A few years ago, we did helping feeding Tampa Bay, which was a lot of fun. And it kind of lets everyone in the community know that like we're here as well. Like, we want to help out in any way that we can.
It's a pleasure. You know, you have a lot under your belt, but I'm going to congratulate you on your future endeavors. And
Thank you.
Season, right?
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.